Hello everyone, CMeeCraft here, and welcome to another redstone tutorial. Today is more of a command block tutorial, because I have made, like, a roleplay, an RPG style weight capacity system in Minecraft. So basically, what we have going on here is, right now, all I have programmed into the system is a diamond sword, so basically, if I'm carrying too much weight, then I get really slow. And it says you are now encumbered and are really slow. So, yeah. So basically, you can make it so, like, each item in the game has a certain weight, and if players are carrying too much total weight, then they start getting negative effects, like poison, slowness, something like that. So let's start with this red part here, which is the clock. So what's happening here is we have a 20-second hopper timer. So basically what happens is, when there are, I think, 22 items in this hopper, this signal will extend 2 blocks and go to this repeater, which extends it to this, I think it's called an RS-NOR latch, but I'm never 100% sure with the redstone names. It's basically make a circle, block, torch, redstone, and then the inputs are here, or in here. Anyway, so when that happens, that toggles that, and then we have the same setup going on over here. And then basically, here's the output right here, so it's going from this torch up to this redstone. So when this side is powered and this redstone is powered, then this hopper is unpowered and this one is powered, which basically means that items will flow from this hopper to this hopper. When the toggle is the other way around, so if this side's being powered, then it's the opposite. This hopper is giving items and this one is receiving. So each of those going back and forth takes about 10 seconds. So when it gets to this one, it goes to this repeater, which just goes onto this big long line of redstone, which goes to the next 2 portions. If you didn't understand that, try rewatching the segment I was just on, and there's probably going to be a caption or something that can link back to when I started talking about the clock. So, let's move on to this green bit here. This is the part that works the magic. This turns items to weight. So, every update, which is every time this redstone gets powered, so about every 20 seconds, this command block will get powered. It says /clear all players of 276, which is the item ID for diamond swords. So, what we have going on here is, this comparator will test to see if that succeeds. So in other words, if this is successful in clearing a diamond sword from a player, then this comparator will output. Now it stays on until proven wrong, basically. So the way comparators and test for commands and that sort of stuff works is, if you have a command block and then a comparator and test for something, if it's true the first time and you never test for it again, then the comparator will stay on indefinitely. So we have this going to repeater, which goes into this block, which powers this scoreboard players at a weight 15. So that basically means if the first time this succeeds, because remember, this will stay powered indefinitely. So the first time this succeeds after not succeeding, this will add weight. So that way you're not getting, like, your weight isn't stacking from previous times. And then 15 is just the weight I decided to give a diamond sword. Okay, so next we have this not gate here. So, which leads to this command block, which says /scoreboard players remove at a weight 15. So basically this is the exact opposite. It says the first time this does not succeed after succeeding, I am going to take away 15 weight. So these basically, if one of them is inactive, the other is. So it's impossible to ever add and then subtract weight on the same time. So, then we come around here and we have this other line leading away from it, which leads to this AND gate here. And the reason we have this AND gate here is because we need to give the player back their diamond sword after we clear it. So that way we aren't just taking diamond swords from them. But we also don't want to give them a diamond sword if they never had a diamond sword. So what this does is we have a repeater on 4 ticks right here. This is important so that this torch here fires at the correct time. If it's less than that, then it might fire before this delay happens. So be careful of that. So this AND gate basically checks for if the player had a diamond sword, which is this line, and if there's a pulse happening right now, which is this line. So those two just come together and pulse this torch real quickly, which does /give all players a diamond sword. So if you did not understand that green part, rewatch that segment of the video. There's probably going to be a caption or something popping up right now that you could just click and go back to the beginning of this segment. Okay, and then finally we have this blue segment, which is the punishment segment. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention about the green segment, you can just have these going indefinitely. So you can have like multiple of these if you want to have a lot of different things calculated in your weight. But this blue segment over here, this is what I like to call the punishment segment. This is what we do. This basically determines what we do if the player is overweight, and calculates what overweight is. So right now, you can see I'm at level 7. Level 7. So I'm doing this based off of levels. So like, level 7 of experience has less weight capacity than level 8. That's how I'm doing this. Of course, level 7 is the only one I have set up right now, but, you know. So basically, this does an effect to all players who have a maximum of level 7 and a minimum of level 7. So that's basically saying all players at level 7 with a score of weight minimum to 11. So that basically means the weight, anyone who's at level 7 and has weight over 10. So basically that means like level 7 has a weight of 10 as their maximum weight. It applies potion effect 2 for 20 seconds at amplifier 2, which is slowness for 20 slowness level 3 for 20 seconds. And then over here, because of the way comparators and command blocks work, so the first time this gets activated, this will tell all players, and then the same thing we just had on the other one, who are at level 7 and have a weight above 10. And it basically just whispers that message, you are now encumbered and are really slow. And it's like that, so every time it doesn't say that. It's just like, oh, you are now encumbered now. If you didn't understand that part, go ahead and rewatch that segment of the video. There will be a caption popping up right about now that will take you back to the beginning of that segment. And that is my weight capacity system, max weight capacity system in Minecraft. A few things to note about this is you'll need to put this area like right within a few chunks of the spawn. I'm not sure exactly how many chunks, but because those are constantly loaded, and you want this to be constantly loaded too. It doesn't really work for multiplayer, because there's not really a good way of storing, like, what, I'm sure there is a way, but I didn't incorporate a way of, like, storing what player is doing it. Also, you can't really do this for armor that effectively, because when it clears your armor, it won't put it back in the same spot. And so every 20 seconds the player will have to re-equip their armor. But that's about it. If you modify this and come up with a better version, then by all means make a video response so that I can be informed of this. I think that's everything. And I'll catch you in the next episode, guys.